Hello, everybody. Welcome to our paint along. Today, we are working on this tree painting, which I have not touched in weeks. Welcome to Art Prof. We are a global art party. Let's take a look at where this is. I'm having trouble remembering what I was up to the last time through. It's going to take me a minute to figure this out. I think sometimes you just need some time to look at the painting because it's been such a long time. I totally do not remember where I was. And a quick reminder to everybody, we are hanging out in the Discord during the stream. If you'd like to make work with me during the stream, it would be so fun if you could post it here into the Discord. I'm also posting information, for example, specifics on the colors that I'm using today. And also, I'm going to try this stuff, cold wax medium, which I have never used before. This is something that makes your paint a little bit more three-dimensional. And I think that could be something that would be really fun for me to try out at this stage in the painting. Let's see where we can go with this. I think I might want to get rid of all the white in here. It's too similar to the white in the background. Although maybe that means I need to do a glaze back here. Yeah, I should do something back here. I want to keep it pretty mild. Maybe it needs a little bit of Naples yellow. I'm going to try a Naples yellow glaze, and we'll see if that helps me at all. By the way, I did a really bad job keeping my brush this clean. I should have left them soaking in the solvent-free oil stuff, but they were a little hard. So I spent the last half an hour just massaging my brushes because they're not in very good shape. Okay. We are using today the Geneva oil paints. And these are the ones that are super drippy. You do not need to put medium into them. And they are typically used more for alla prima approaches. Alla prima means that you do the painting all at once. It means that there are no layers in the process. I'm just going to see what happens if I put a very thin layer of a Naples yellow glaze. I just want to test it first. And here's my oil medium, solvent-free from Gamblin. And I almost forgot to put on my Art Guard. So Art Guard is a barrier cream. You just put it on your hands, and it makes it so that way the oil paint does not go right on top of your skin. Also makes it easier for you to wash your hands. Tell me in the comments, how has your week been? Anything eventful? Any art supplies you bought? What projects are you working on? Let me know in the chat. Because I have not painted in a really, really long time. So I'm very curious. Oh, whoa. Yikes. Okay, that's not good. Okay, we need a lot of oil medium. We're going to just drag it out like crazy. Super, super thin. I'll put it down, and then I'm going to wipe it away in a couple spots because that's really over the top. But I don't want to stick with this pale blue periwinkle everywhere. I'm just trying to give it a little more variation. I just feel like the white is not that exciting. And I need something to differentiate between the coolness of the branches. And so this is just a way for me to differentiate the two. This is crazy thin. Oh, there's a dog hair up here. Stupid buddy. Oh my gosh, they're everywhere. Never had this problem before. We've only had Buddy for about 2 years. I don't want to get rid of that teal. I just think that the yellow will make things a little more different, especially against the contour, because the tree is a little bit more purple and lavender. Tell me your projects. What are you working on? I have been trying to get all week to burning some wood. I only had time to do some tests. I wasn't able to actually start a new piece, but I was very happy that I was able to get the fixative to work on top of the fumage, which wasn't previously a thing. Okay, now we're gonna get a rag. Just gonna move it around, and there's so much freaking, this is all dog hair. What the heck? Does anybody else have this problem? This is a new problem for me. I never had this issue before. It's all over. What the heck? I hope I can get some of it off. It's gonna bother me. So obviously here that's too much, but you can see that that gives it a little bit more of a glow, and it breaks up some of the teal color a little bit more, so it doesn't feel like it's the same thing all over the place. I put a ton of solvent-free medium in here. It's really fun adding a glaze like this. It's no effort, and you can't mess it up because the image is already there, which is so nice. It's like you get to paint with an insurance policy. You don't have to worry about totally screwing it up like crazy. Okay, what I'm thinking is maybe I should try some of the cold wax up here. This is the cold wax, and you can see it's nice and thick. Let me get out a little bit of it onto my palette knife. I just want to see what it looks like. Oh, it's so thick. Look at that. Nice. I'll take a photo of this and I'll put it into the Discord so that way all of you can see better just how thick this is. Oh my gosh. I'm going to use it pretty thin at first because I just am not super confident about what it's like just yet. But this is going into the Discord, so that way if anybody here wants to take a look at it, you can see. And keep posting in the Discord, everybody. I already see lots of activity, which is really fun. I'm going to try mixing, well, this is the problem. When you've been away from a painting for a long time, you just can't remember what you were doing before. Oh, I should make this part darker. So this is the brighter area. Okay, let me do a glaze. Let's put the cold wax aside for a little bit, and let's just glaze for a little while, because that's a fundamental change up here in value that I think I was really missing before. I think something that's like a purple would be nice, because there is this lavender that's happening throughout. So I'm going to use the bismuth red, and also the set comes with ultramarine. We're going to do a pretty saturated glaze over that area. Okay, same thing. I'm going to just go in on top. So there's, oh, that's not enough oil medium. I need way more oil medium than that. It's going to be a very mild glaze. This will be the same thing where I'll put down the glaze, but then I'll go back in with the rag so I can start moving it around, because this whole area is so much darker than I had it. And that starts to push the space a little bit better. Oh, yeah, that looks pretty good. And then coming in with the rag, I can push some highlights, pull out more so I get more of a clear-cut transition. Oh, glazing is so easy. It's like zero effort. I love it. Let's get a little bit more darkness up there. Can't find my brush now. Where is it? Is this it? Yeah, I think this is it. Just a little more value up there at the top. All right, let's see what people are saying in the chat. Look at this, everybody. I'm so proud. Check this out. Look. Thanks to Luis, I now have this mic. I can like move it around. It's amazing. I feel like I gained all this extra space because I used to have a mic stand that would get in the way all the time. And this one is so cute. Look at that. So thank you, Luis. If you're watching, this is a huge difference. I have a lot more mobility now because of that. All right, let's see what people are talking about. And he says, I've been sealing all my sketchbook acrylic paintings with cold wax medium to prevent the pages from sticking, going back over years and years of stuff. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. It doesn't get sticky at all? Or do you have to like buff it in to make sure it's a little bit smoother? Randy's working on a comic. Casey says, photo series of all my dad's things, ranging from favorite clothes to junk. I've been sketching ideas out for each shot. Fantastic. Arash started a full house renovation. Oh gosh, that's a gigantic project. Oh, you sound like you definitely need a break from something like that. Artscape says, I think we're on the same wavelength, by the way. Cold wax and bellies on the journey with you. Yeah, if people don't know what the heck I'm talking about, I did post this on my Instagram story today because I'm starting up those fumage pieces. This is a piece that I did a really long time ago. This is, gosh, probably 8 years ago. It's a graphite drawing on tissue paper of my stomach. And my next idea for the fumage pieces is to do drawings of my stomach. I know maybe it's a little TMI for some people, but that's the work I'm really excited about right now. And you can see if you guys look at my Instagram stories that I did post some close-ups. These are reference photos. I really dramatized the contrast, made it way darker, so that way the images were more abstract. So that way with the fumage, I could see the value range a little bit better. It's just the beginning. Very, very beginning of things. By the way, let's see what is happening in the Discord because I already saw a lot of activity there. Post what you're making during this paint along, everybody, and I will give you a shout out. So Amaryllis working on two. First one is graphite and charcoal. Second one is oil with cold wax. Oh, that is really great to see the textures. And then in this one, such beautiful observation showing all those wrinkles. Nice work. Rats with Shivs got a studio, university, working on wire sculpture, air dried clay, yarn, and paint primer. Oh, check that out. Look at those materials. Nice to have space. With sculpture, you need to have space to be able to do things. Okay, Salinas has an art supply haul, playing around with seeing how they fit into my existing art supplies. We've got Shadow Violet and we've got Lavender, Daniel Smith. Who here is a Daniel Smith fan? Because actually we do have a Daniel Smith video coming up. It's called Luxury Watercolor versus Cheap. Take a wild guess. Which one won that contest? This is the cold wax that I was talking about. You guys can see it's translucent and pretty thick. It's not dripping at all. So June's asking, where do all the texts appear? They just appear when I share this window, which has the Discord. So if you just post in art alongs, I will see it. Coffee, working on this piece in acrylics. And Coffee and I have been working together on this painting over in Art Club. So it's been really fun to watch this progress. And we also have Dave working on ink figure drawings using dip pens and ballpoint pen. Oh, I love how you're doing all of the drapery. Really see that very convincingly. Oh, especially the jacket. The jacket's fantastic. You can really feel the roundness of that back. We also have George bought a sketchbook, some pencils to bring on a trip to Europe. Oh, so jealous. Starving Artist, just buying some lino and water-based speedball ink now, my eventful art supplies today. And we also have Renee, who went to Ottawa, went to DeSeries, kind of like Blick in the US, got one of those big chunky Molotow acrylic markers. And I love it. So fun to use. It's a sky blue color. Oh yeah, those like really thick chisel tip paint markers. Oh, they're so satisfying. And you know something else, what I like about those chisel tips is they're not perfectly smooth. They always come out a little bit brushy looking, which is something I really like about those particular markers. Okay, well, Artie Strings, get ready. You just got Daniel Smith paints, and I can foresee some joy in your future. We also have Allison. Welcome. First time joining a live. And Annie's replying about the cold wax. Must buff for sure. They stay slippery. Some people have told me about Dorland's wax, that's a good way to seal things. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm pretty excited about the cold wax medium. Okay, let's go back to, I love this, you guys, my mic, it's so flexible. Like I can put it anywhere I want and it's fine. Oh my gosh, greatest thing ever. Okay, we're gonna paint working on the tree. I think it actually needs some red. I think especially here in the middle. Maybe I'll do like a orange glaze on top of that. And I'm sorry I don't have a third camera for my palette. Sure would be nice to have something like that. Someday. Maybe now because I have the nice mic, I'll actually be able to have a little more room for myself because it was a pretty tight squeeze last time. You know what else, everybody? Do you see my silicoil brush cleaning tank? I had it filled with safflower oil, and when I was painting with it, it wasn't settling to the bottom like it's supposed to. It does with Gamsol overnight, but you know something? When I picked this up today, it's like all nice and clean. So I guess the thing about the safflower oil is it just takes a really long time to settle because I was away for a few weeks on this painting and I was like very, very happy to have seen that occur. Okay, we're going to do more reds in here. I think especially up here, there's quite a bit. And I do want to get a little more detailed. It's a little too red, but maybe if I add it in more spots, it'll be all right. Especially here, I think this spot needs way more detail. But there's this, I guess, orange streak that's going downwards. And it's a little brushy. Today is going to be all about putting things down only to take them away. Let's get a little more saturation in here. Oh, whoa. Oh my God. I was not, okay. I was not expecting that. Sheesh. Maybe not that bright. Genuinely startled me. Okay, we're just going to wipe it down because that was, ooh, that was too much. And sometimes I will take a brush that's clean already and I'll just use it to move the paint around. Sometimes that's a good way to get it going. But you know something? I did like that brightness. Maybe I'll put it somewhere else. I didn't want it over there. But maybe here? Oh, I think that's too much. That's pretty bad. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I want it that bright because it looks too similar to the ground. But let's go in and get some wiggly stuff in here. Well, I'm going to do some details because that spot needs a lot of work. I'm going to use more of an ultramarine right now, a little less purple. Maybe ultramarine with some burnt umber. Okay, let's really work this. And let me go in. I can zoom in a little more. Hang on a second. It's a little easier to see. It's this one spot here. Really did not spend much time on this. But you guys will see the reason the stream is called artist block is this is always the point of the painting where I'm not 100% sure where to proceed. Tell me in the comments if you've ever hit that point where you go, well, I know it's not done. I don't know what to do next. It's very common to get to that point, and you have to have that experience. Really, the quickest solution to fixing that is to get feedback. So if you join our Discord, which is free, by the way, the public area, you can come in and get some feedback. If you post in the critique channel, or the show and tell channel has been really fun and it's been popping. Oh my gosh. Elvira and Uma, who are two of our fantastic moderators, they've been doing an amazing job really encouraging people in there. So show and tell in the Discord, it's a really nice channel to start in. If you don't have a lot of experience, you're still trying to find your way around. I'm going to add some ultramarine blue. I feel like there's too much purple. Purple's getting in my way a little bit. So that's a little sliver of ultramarine. We're going to do some really refined areas that I was ignoring last time. All these little lines. I'm not going to paint all of them, but I need to paint a couple key ones. So that way I am capturing that aspect of the tree. I think that is pretty important. Right now, this part of the process, it's really drawing. This is drawing what I'm doing right now. I'm not really painting so much. Yeah, because I think you guys all saw how much of an octopus this looked like. I want to really get rid of that quality today, give it a better feeling of structure. And so some of that is adding these very refined details. Gosh, painting takes forever. And a reminder to everybody, if you have a question that you would like me to answer, please make sure you put it in all caps and type question. If I miss your question, you're always welcome to post it again. But if you put question on top, I'm way more likely to see your question and be able to answer it. I need a highlight here. That little spot has to be more raised. How about let's dip into some of that Naples yellow that I had earlier. It's not really Naples yellow. It's like wannabe Naples yellow. It is more what it is. And we're going to add a nice opaque section to show the top of this. I'm going to move the brushwork in a way to show that better. It's a little bit better, but I think I need these to come around, really make sure that the spot looks like it's really 3D. It's got to stay super opaque. Okay, and then to make, oh, okay, there's a highlight that goes across. Oh, all right, so it goes like that. So we get the feeling of the plane. Oh yeah, that's much better. Oh, good. Finally figuring it out. Yeah, that's much better. That was an area I was a little concerned about, because this part really does jut out. A couple more spots down here. Tell me in the comments, those of you who do paint, do you find painting to be achingly slow like me? Because, oh God. Oh, this is dripping. I think I put too much medium up here. I think I do like this orange. Let me add a little more of that. Maybe especially here. A little more color variation. Actually, I got a question for you guys. How many people here get stressed about color matching? Like you mix a color and you're frustrated that you can't mix it again. Who here feels like that's something that actively bothers them? Because I have been hearing from a lot of people about their frustrations with color matching. And you know what's weird is I just don't care about color matching because my attitude is that I'll just do the best I can to color match. And then if it doesn't color match, then I just have a little more variation in the color. I just think it's not remotely as important as people think it is. But maybe for some of you, it is very important. I just have found that it gives people so much grief that I don't find it to be worth all that grief. Because I was talking to the people at the Gardner Museum, they're a conservation team, and they really have to color match because they're working on paintings and they're trying to be faithful to all those paintings. And I just thought, oh my God, they must be really good at the color matching. But for us, I don't think it's as important. Or if you disagree with me, tell me why you think it's important. People have such different reasons for doing things a certain way. Oh, this is fun. I'm happy about this part. This is the fun part, you guys. Like, I don't have to work so hard because a lot of the stuff is pretty far along. Now, these lines I'm putting in, these are way too dark. I am going to go back in later and I'll even them out, make them a little softer when I get further along. Right now, I'm just drawing in a bunch of lines. Okay, and I want to get some of the lines at the top a lot darker. For example, there is one up here that is very dark. This is a pretty gigantic crack, so we're going to really let this one get lighter. Oh yeah, that helps a lot. And these two, they're too similar. I think what I'm going to do is maybe add a little bit of a dark orange back here because they look too similar. And I think this one has a little bit more stuff inside. Well, hopefully that will make that look like it's not the same exact blue that I'm putting in everywhere. Okay, and actually I'm not going to use a rag here. I'm just going to take a clean brush and I'm just going to use it to blend. And that just, oh, feels so easy. I love it. It's just blending a little here or there to make sure that the lines don't look like they're just drawn on. I don't want that. So it's about softening some of the edges, making a little bit longer. And this one up here, getting it to smear more into the glaze. Okay. I know this is like absurdly slow, you guys, but it's what painting is. And I always promised you that I would show you what it's really like. This is what it's like. Really slow progress. Sketch Pause is asking, have you ever used Impasto Medium? I did use it with the water mixable oils. There was, oh no, maybe it was with regular oils. Anyway, Winsor Newton makes something called Oleo Pasto, which comes in a tube, and that was really fun. I was very excited about that. The cold wax I've never used before, so we're going to give it a shot today and see what happens. Yes, that's it. Oleo Pasto. Anna, you got it in the chat for me. Thank you very much. Bird creature. Yeah, it went from octopus to bird. I like bird better though because octopus is like all smushy. And while I don't really mind the octopus thing, I was hoping to capture more of the rigidity of the texture. Starving Artist is asking, the Geneva paints are usually soft and a bit runny. How is the cold wax affecting their texture in application? I have not used it yet because, I don't know, I got cold feet. Well, because I have everything under control right now. Maybe I'll add it. There's 2 spots that I think I might want to add it. We'll have to see. Yeah, I know. Yes. Speaking of show and tell, everybody, let me go into that channel because it is so fun to see what's happening in show and tell. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, show and tell is a channel where everybody is allowed to post 1 image per day and a single photo. You can share your reference image. So here is one by June, park custodian who found a half-dead turtle in the discarded lawnmower. Oh no. Oh, I love that little story that you're telling. Uma here is doing Mungyo water-soluble oil pastels. Look at how vibrant those colors are. So Uma's a mod and she's been doing really great job. She and Elvira really getting show and tell hopping. And you can see we also have one from Carvane, last thing I worked on. Oh, great point of view. I really like how we're just tunneling downwards into that space. Yeah, so if you guys post and show and tell, I'm happy to give you a shout out here on the live stream. This is from Rainbow Commit, graphite drawing of a liminal space. Oh, that's eerie. I really love that lighting that you have in there. So this is the rule. 1 original artwork post at a time, 1 photo per day. References can be included. And again, this is the public part of the channel. It's free. You can totally come here anytime as long as you're following those guidelines. You are good to go. And if you mess up and we tell you you need to move something, whatever, that's fine. Everybody who comes to the Discord makes at least 8 mistakes before you figure it out. There's a lot of guidelines for good reason because we want to keep the community safe, but we love it when you guys are in here. Oh, look at this. This is by Frago, color practice. Oh, that glow. I can really feel the sunlight in that piece. Now, Feli has made more bubbles. Oh, I love the little pinks that are in here. They're so delicate, but they're a really nice balance against the blue and the green. And we have this from Delirious Hunter. Definitely my proudest drawing so far. So proud of the coloring. Oh, yeah. I like the green and the red. It's like really beautifully blended. Great job, everybody. Keep posting in there. I find it very inspiring just to see the incredible range that our community creates. We also have Aliska. I don't care about color matching. I use a lot of layers anyway. And Renee is trying to not care about color matching. The more I paint, the easier it gets. Selena says, the only time I'm fussed about color matching is when I have large flat shapes. Yeah, I could see that because if it's meant to be flat, you don't want all that color variation. But outside of that context, it usually is fine. Pagorami, lurking for a few months while doing college. Nice to pop in for spring break. Well, welcome, Pagorami. So glad to have you here. And what I would say, because we have a conversation here going on, Brittany's talking about not all types of painting are slow medium, but Anna's also pointing out other ways of working. I paint so many layers, the earlier layers get covered up. Everybody has such a different way of interpreting the paint. people work at different paces. I'm the type of person, I get really slow from here on. Up until this point, I felt like I could paint with some speed, but here on, it's going to be really, really slow. And by the way, everybody, keep posting in the Art Alongs channel because we will be sharing some of the things that you guys are doing in here. And also, 2500 challenge, lots of great progress from people doing the challenge in here. This is by ET, great facial expression. We also have people doing the Art Dare this month, as always. Wonderful support people are giving each other. We have Lisa's mouse. The Art Dare this month is expressive drawing, and so we're seeing great range. And also people who are doing the Art Prof tracks. These are free. They are on the website, and it's really fun because you can see other people doing the same lessons. This is Parakeet setting up painting basics. And this is the white on white still life. And it's great because other people who've done the same lesson can definitely come in here and give advice to others. It's a really nice group learning environment, which I think is the best way to learn. A lot of people tell me that they find it very difficult to learn in isolation. Having that community support is extremely important. June is asking, is about the only time you pick up brush markers when you're traveling? La blah, blah. The time I saw you with it was when you visited Taiwan and sketched as your family was moving around. I do use them a lot for traveling because they're neat. They're really fast to sketch with, but I've definitely used it in the context of other studio projects. I haven't done it for a really long time because I'm focused on all of these other things, but absolutely, they're great in any context. Neil has had a fulfilling breakfast. Awesome. Alexander, finally going to get some time to unpack this year's art haul. Took nearly a month for some of my stuff to come in, and I have so many ideas. That is just the greatest feeling. I know exactly what you mean, Alexander. Okay, we're going to get back into this. Okay, for real, I'm going to use the cold wax medium. We're going to try it on some of the brighter areas because I like to build up the opacity in areas that are brighter. Okay, let me just clean my palette for a little bit. And I am going to shoot a photo so all of you can see what the palette looks like because this paint is super drippy, and if I try to put it up on my easel, it's going to drip everywhere. Because I know in the past I have been able to do that, but this is too drippy for me to be able to do that. So tell me in the comments, who here likes impasto, which is very thick paint? Tell me if you like it thick or thin or both. I'm definitely not much of an impasto painter, but I'll give anything a try. Okay. How about if I mix... I feel like there's too much purple, but I don't want... Do I want Naples yellow? I guess it's okay because this is all green. Maybe Naples yellow with a little touch of red. Like a pale peach might be fun. Okay, we're going to grab this. And you know what I can do, because I'm so amazing, you guys. I can do a video that I can put into the Discord. Oh my gosh, let's do it. I'm going to just get a little touch of this yellow. We're going to put it into the cold wax medium. Oh, it's so slippery, you guys. Oh my gosh. Woo! Oh, weird. Okay, for those of you in the Discord, you get the video of my palette. I really should figure out a better way to do this. But anyway, if you're in the Discord, you can take a look. And let me mix it up a little bit more. And I'll take a photo of the palette for those of you guys who can't see it. It's very matte. That's the thing I'm really noticing right now. Very, very different. See, here it is. It's so stiff. I was not expecting it to be that stiff. Okay, and the photo of my palette is going into the Discord. Okay, let's do something very rash. Let's add some stuff with palette knife. Oh, am I going to regret this, you guys? Too bad. I think it's going to happen anyway. All right, here we go. Woo. I'm nervous. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit more red to it. I think it's a little bit too yellow. Oh, shoot. I think I made it. See, now it's like really orange. I don't think I like that. I'm going to add more white to it and a little bit more of that yellow. I think the weirdest thing is how slippery it is on the palette. That's taking me a little time to get used to. It feels very different in that way. All right, let's try something. Oh, it's nice, you guys. Oh, I really like that. Sweet. All right, let's just throw some patches of it everywhere. Just going to do some palette knife work. We're just going to distribute the yellow in a bunch of places, and then I think I'll mix up like a really thick purple. Oh, it's so creamy. I don't know. I thought it was going to be too blunt, but it's got a nice creamy surface. Oh, I like this, you guys. Let's try some right here. That is really cool. Okay, let me take a photo of that so you guys can see what it looks like on the canvas. But it's really nice. I'm surprised. I wasn't expecting that to be the case. Okay, so those are the images. And I'm going to mix up another one, which is like a light lavender. But I do like this cold wax. It's nice. Okay, let's grab some more. I don't know. I thought it was going to be not as smooth and not as soft, but it's so thick. Like, look at that. It's nice. I'm really impressed, Camlin. Good job. Actually, I'm going to try. Well, no, I'm going to add some white, but let's just see what this looks like. But yes, it is very frosting, like those of you who are wondering. Yeah. Okay, so that's the purple that I just mixed up. But I think it's not bright enough, so I'm going to get some white. Let's put a little bit more white into that purple mixture. Oh my god, I will never get used to how drippy these paints are. Well, that's why it makes me wonder, like, what would the cold wax be like if I used it with a material like Gamblin, which is a lot thicker. I should try that on another stream. Okay, so here's that's what that looks like. Okay, let's get a couple spots in here. So I'm looking for areas that the purple can maybe interact more. It's going to be very messy, which is fine. For me, it feels a little risky to be adding thick paint this late in the process, because usually this is something I'd want to be worked out earlier. But who knows? Maybe it'll be fun. And it'll be nice because it'll get this stuff to push back a little more. So maybe if I add some more highlights in the foreground. It's really nice, you guys. I am really happy with how this looks. It's very sensitive. Like, it's really picking up so many things. Oh, this would be great if I was doing 100% all cold wax medium, but I'll add some touches. Just for emphasis in a couple spots. I can always wipe them down. That's the thing I'm not worried about, because the image is super stable. It's not going anywhere. Get a little more yellow up here. That's so cool. I'm really happy I tried it, everybody. I would like to try painting that's just the cold wax medium, but that's for another time. Maybe a little bit more towards this bottom. Oh, fun. Okay, I'm going to take some photos, close-ups of the cold wax so you guys can take a look at this. It's very satisfying. Okay, and this is all going into the Discord. I am a fan, cold wax. Good job. All right, let's take a look at, we've got a couple questions here. And remember, if you have a question for me, put it into caps, so that way I am more likely to see it. Neil is asking, should I draw or should I just keep resting? It's early in the morning here, just had a big meal, currently chilling in bed, kind of too lazy to draw right now. I'll rest. After a meal? That is not the time that I feel like working. Usually after I eat, I totally feel like I need a nap. And that's actually one of the reasons why in the mornings, that's when I do the work that I have to like really pay attention to. Usually it's the stuff in the afternoon that I do where I can be a little more relaxed. Take a break. Absolutely keep resting. Plus, you're chilling in bed. We don't want to disrupt that. Not at all. Yeah, come on, Neil. It just feels so good. The weather's nice and cool. My belly is full and the bed feels so soft. Okay, you cannot disrupt that feeling with artwork, okay? Lisa's asking, what happens to the cold wax? I assume it just dries, right? Let me see what the label says. It's for artists interested in reducing gloss, creating bold texture. May also be used as a varnish to give your completed work a unified velvety appearance. Yeah, I guess it just dries. But it's very matte. That's true. There's no gloss in there. Anna says, I prefer impasto paste over cold wax medium because the cold wax makes the paint too matte. I've used both extensively and like the oleo pasto better. Good to know. I haven't done a lot of varnishing, but another option for those of you who are wondering, if you don't like the matte quality, you could also use a varnish on top, which is glossy. That's it. I'm mixing margarine, Lisa. Basically, it's like really smooth, slippery margarine, and it has more body. Margarine, I feel, wouldn't compare. Parvie says, jealous of people who can do impasto well, especially when mixing color. I'm very layer oriented. Speaking of color, everybody, you know what's coming up? Oh no, I typo. It's supposed to say April 11th. Whoops. Okay, it's not April 1st, but we are about to release our Beginner's Guide to Color ebook, which we've been working on for months now, me and all of the staff. And if you guys go down to the video description below, you will see a link to sign up if you want to get an early bird discount. You will be the first to know, and you get a discount. Remember, April 11th. Oh, I knew I was going to mess up something on the slides today, but we're very excited about it. And here is a short preview for all of you to take a look at. You can see it has a very long table of contents, and the page on the left-hand side is an example. The whole purpose of the ebook is to create something where people feel there's a more cohesive sequence to how to learn color, because I think it's very overwhelming. It's a huge topic. And I know for a lot of people, they're not really sure what to learn first. And so we thought very carefully about how we structure the learning in the context of the ebook. I think it's 167 pages at this point. Might change. I'm still working on it. But anyway, the retail amount is $25, but you can get that early bird discount if you like. We also have some other comments. Okay, so Artscape says, somewhere in the middle, too thin and I lose the richness, too thick and it looks like mush. We just can't win. Selena says, I like the look of it, but haven't used it. The most texture I've used is gel medium jellyfish on my sketchbook cover. I'll put it in the Discord. Oh, well, speaking of the Discord, how about let's get over into the Art Alongs channel and we can take a look at what people are doing in there. Oh, I love that you guys are posting so much in here. It's fantastic. Okay, let me scroll up, make sure I'm getting to everybody. Oh, this is, oh, that is so cool, Selena's. Wow. Oh, and I guess here you can really see how three-dimensional these are. Oh, I love how loose your brushwork is, Selena's. That is so lovely. Okay, so here are some of the close-ups I was talking to you guys about. So here's a little bit of that yellow section. You can see here how thick it's going to be. My plan is to go over this with a brush and then smooth things out. Aw, Amaryllis, Daisy, brutal art critique and snack sampler. Oh, look at her colors. Oh, look at that yellow ochre and the raw umber. Yeah, share your pet pictures in the chat because we always need more pet pictures. In fact, I have a really funny picture of Buddy that I took today. Well, there's two, but he really, really likes this wall that's outside of my office. And he just always presses his body up against it. So I just have this like huge collection of photos with him and his body pressed up against the wall outside my office. Okay, let's scroll back up and see some of the other things people are posting. Randy says false alarm. Oh, are you practicing a particular exercise? I really like the guy up here. He's got a great facial expression. And look at, oh, so soft. My kids are very sad. They can't have a cat because my spouse is allergic. Cool. We're seeing, okay, some major impasto work from Anna in their work. Great to see full out impasto because I'm doing like wimpy impasto. Like my impasto's not that great. Oh, look at this. Jen, you have to tell us what his name is. Oh, that's so sweet. Service dog Betsy Ross. I love it. We do have a question from Neil. Is the content of the color ebook new, different from the content in the color streams and color track? Yes. There are links to things, like, for example, there's a page where we explain what warm and cool colors are, and we do link to the actual stream. But the actual writing that's in the ebook, that's 100% new. Anything that is written in there. So if you guys take a look at the sample page, you can see that all the text that's here, that's all brand new. None of that is on the website or anywhere else, but you can see at the top, we do link to the video, which talks specifically about blue and orange. But other than that, everything else is brand new. And for me, the biggest difference is that we now have this table of contents, which I think does make things a lot easier in terms of study, because we do obviously have our website, which is really nice, but I think there's something about the ebook form that feels a little bit like a better pacing. I don't know if other people feel that's the case, but I feel that's the case from writing it. Tell me in the comments, what's your relationship with color? Because we all have different perceptions, different uses of color. Me and color, we get along. It's not always natural, like we don't finish each other's sentences, but we're okay now. It's not like you see color and I'm like, okay, out the door or anything like that. Jazz, in love with color. And Pagarami is asking, have you tried Galkid on those runny oil paints? I wonder how it would behave. Well, these paints are so runny that last time when I put medium into them, it just like dripped everywhere. So I feel like I could definitely try that on maybe some of the Gamblin paints, which are a lot thicker. Yes, that's it. That's it, Jennifer. April Fools. It's the 11th. There's just always something, everybody. Randy says, I like color, but I want Hirohiko Araki's approach to color. Oh, can you tell us who that is? Yes, Brittany, we are sharing samples of the ebook, sample pages. So you guys can see on the left-hand side, this is a sample page, the sample table of contents, and I have released some other pages if you look at some of other posts on YouTube. So that way you guys get a sense of what it will be like. Porgarami says, I love color and oil painting, but I took a printmaking class and monotypes really changed my perspective on them. Oddly enough, I've never done monotypes in full color. I've done monotypes where like all green, but I've never done that before. That would be really fun. I should try that sometime. I always largely treated monotype as a monochromatic experience for myself. Okay. We're going to get back into this, and I want to move this around. So I'm going to get a brush that is all clean, and I'm just going to push this around to see what that looks like. I probably don't want a brush that's too small. This one's okay. Although, I should use the bigger one. I feel like I'm thinking about a small one because the big one makes me nervous, but I think this will be better. Okay, let's try this. And I'm not looking at the reference, everybody. I'm just going to see what happens here. Ooh, oh my God, it feels so good on my brush. Ooh, oh my God. Oh, I like this, everybody. Nice. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm really, really happy, everybody. So happy I tried this. I'm going to take a photo to show you guys because I haven't blended it all the way. I just want you to see the difference between the part that is palette knife and the part that's been brushed over. I think you will like seeing that difference in the Discord. Okay, so in the Discord, you guys should be able to see the part that I brushed. Okay, and I'm going to keep wiping my brush. You know something? I think I'm kind of done with the reference. Do you guys think I should walk away from it? I don't think I need it anymore. I feel like I just want to react to what's already here. Tell me in the comments, who thinks I should walk away from the reference? Who here thinks I need a little more work, a little more guidance? I'm either going to walk away or I'm going to walk away really soon. That's what I think. But I don't know. Maybe some of you think I would benefit from sticking with the reference a little bit longer. I don't know. This is really fun. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Oh my gosh, I'm going to get my long filbert. Hang on. I found it. It took me forever, but I found my long filbert. You see, oh, it's got crap in it. But do you see this? See how long that is? I'm going to do that on the cold wax. Oh, it's going to be so cool. Oh my God, it's so crappy though. Look at that. Ugh. God, I did not take good care of my brushes. Although this brush is like 27 years old, you guys. That's how long I've had it. Okay, we're going to try this because I'm going to hold it like this, and we're going to try something a lot looser. It's got this really delicate quality. Ugh, this brush is kind of sucky. I thought it was going to help, but it's not very good. I'm going to use this other one. This one's better. All right, did we decide? Walk away from the reference or spend a little more time? Am I doing all right? I'm not looking at it right now, so everybody knows. And this is the same thing. I'm doing more. A lot of this is going to get wiped away. So I still haven't, there's still way more than I want at the moment. I do want to add more here. So I'm going to get some of the cold wax medium. We're going to add something more substantial. I'm moving some of the purple into the yellow so they mix a little better. And he says, walk away, but leave the door open to come back. Joe's asking, where can I see the reference photo? If you guys go down to the video description below, I do have a link for that reference photo and all of the links for the art supplies. I think. If I'm wrong, tell me, and I'll put it into the Discord or wherever. Okay, everybody's telling me walk away. Lisa is also saying the same thing. Yeah, okay, you guys convinced me. All right, let's keep this going then. Because the cold wax, you know something, I'm not using it super thick, but I am finding it handy because the application is quite different than what I'm doing. And I do like that part of it. I do like these like little swirly parts. Oh, it's getting a little too bright. But I probably need a smaller brush to add more of that detail. Yeah, let me get a small brush. By the way, everybody, I don't know if you knew this, but Jordan is getting married next week, and almost the entire staff is going to Los Angeles for his wedding, and I am leaving for LA first thing tomorrow. So I will definitely still be around in the Discord, and I will be replying for workshops and art club and stuff like that, but my replies will be a little bit delayed. But it's an Art Prof holiday. It's going to be so fun, and we're going to have so many cute pictures to share with all of you guys. So I'm very excited about that. And yes, I am going to cry. Like, really cry. I was a mess. When Jordan told us on the staff call, I like couldn't stop crying. This is going to be really fun. Ooh, I like this. I'm getting all the weird wiggly things. That's what was missing. I think that's what I really wanted, was the wiggly stuff. But I think I'm starting to pull it out. Maybe this piece is further along than I thought it was. I'm very surprised. Oh, it's like sometimes you think, oh, forever before this is going to be done. And then sometimes it's like it just sort of takes care of itself. And I think I want to increase the darkness up here at the top. I think that'll make things a little bit more dramatic. And let's get in some ultramarine blue, because I think, again, it's getting a little too purple. So I want to add some cooler. It's turning into like a brown purple, which I don't think I like very much. Oh yeah, that's better. I think that pushes the tree back a little bit more than what I had before. More wiggly stuff. But anyway, we're not going to be in LA for that long. I was hoping that I'd be able to stay a little longer, but wasn't able to do that. But we are going to try to hit a museum or two. It depends on how much time we have. We probably won't have a lot of time. But I do have one visit that I'm very excited about. That is not a museum, and it is not an artist studio. So can anyone guess what this surprise place is that I'm talking about? Because it's a place that absolutely has to do with artists. And I'm trying to think if we have a video like this place. I kind of think we don't. So can anybody guess what it is? Not a museum, not an artist's studio. It is not a print shop. We've done lots of those, which have been super fun for me. Ooh, I do really like this orange that's in here. Oh yeah, it's getting all wiggly. It looks like hair now, doesn't it? But I think it's starting to get some of the look that I was wanting to get early on. I think that's finally starting to come together. It does look like hair. Oh, that's weird looking. Okay, let's try to get something going in here. I think I'm losing some of my grays. Let's get in like a muted ultramarine blue, because I think I want more of this color. That color is sort of disappearing, and I think I would like more of that. So how about let's mix some of the purple cold wax with a little bit of the ultramarine, and maybe a little touch of orange to dull it down, because I think it definitely is too... Oh, now I have white paint on my pants. Yeah, there we go. So this is a more muted color that I'm going to add in here. I'm trying to be okay with it looking a little messier, but sometimes it's hard because you just want to like blend everything. Oh, I feel so much better not having that reference. Thank you, everybody, for telling me to walk away, because I think it was starting to become disruptive, was making it harder for me to try out different types of things. See, this one looks very flat. I think this one needs a lot of like shadow here. I think I lost some of the values, so we're just going to mix a little, get more of that gray. Let's do a little with the rag, because we know the rag is the magic maker around here. Rag takes care of everything for us. I don't know. Should I leave like that? Is that too textured? I kind of feel like I should let some of the texture stuff show. I kind of do like that stroke being a little messy. Like up here, it's starting to really do funky things. I don't know. It's like, is that messy good or is it messy bad? I think it's messy bad, actually. Yeah, I'm going to get a rag and go in and fix up some of this stuff. It's getting a little sloppy, I think. I think this is messy bad. I don't think it's messy good. How are all of you doing working on your pieces? It's great. Watching everything go in real time is one of my favorite things about how we can interact together, literally across the world. That we can have our own essentially open studios happening here on Friday night. Tell me in the comments, do people here, do you guys set aside time to work? Like you schedule it? Or is it more, okay, whenever I think of it? because I don't schedule it. I just am like, oh, I happen to have some time. Okay. I guess the only difference is if I'm doing like that grant application, for sure, that's something I need to schedule time for. But if I don't have a deadline, it's sort of like, yeah, whatever. I'm really surprised by this orange in here. It's really made a big difference. Okay, now I'm going to go through and I'm going to just work on some edges, because like here I want a sharp edge, but then I'm going to make it more blended over here. Here too, I want to blend some more, because what the cold wax gave me was some pretty sharp edges. Wow, I think that's coming together. Cool. I'm surprised. I was not expecting to have that result today. I was so sure that I'd look at it and go, oh my God, this is never going to get done. Let's let this area stay a little messier. And let's get some like really strong red in here. Well, because it's turning red down here anyway. So maybe it's time to add some red up there. How about a red glaze? Let's do a little red glaze. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I like the red glaze. Okay, good. Okay, I'm really happy with this part. That really is coming along the way I want it to. I'm going to take some photos so you guys can all see the differences. And actually, I should do a work in progress so you guys can see the whole thing. But I also like sharing details because those are really fun. Gosh, I think this tree is so much further along than I thought it was. All right, let's see what people are saying in the chat. Okay, so Randy has a weekly checklist. Oh gosh, I have so many checklists. I do this. I always have one sticky every day, and that is my like absolute to-do list. It's the stuff I can't get out of. Every day I have to make that little sticky. Cindy says my habit is to spend some time with my supplies after dinner every night. It might be 10 minutes or 2 hours. Oh, isn't that so funny how I do this all the time where I sit down, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to do that for like 10 minutes. And then it's like, boom, a whole hour has passed, which is fine. Oh, I'm so glad, Butter, who says art alongs keep me so motivated. This is great. Oh, it's good for me. Like I have been just staring at this tree and not been that excited about it. But I think today I'm starting to get excited about it because the color variation, I think, is really starting to kick it. Well, not kick it, get better. Yeah, purely whenever I feel like it. June asks, somebody asked if Alex Rowe is going to be at the wedding. I don't think so. At least not that I know of. All right. Well, people have some guesses for me about the place I'm going to in LA. I'm very happy. Deep D set me up for it. So maybe that gives you a little bit of a hint. Cindy says art supply manufacturers. Artscape says Stark Sculpture Garden. What is that? I never heard of that before. It's not Hollywood, but it's in the vicinity. Maker space for props. Oh, I wish. And Neil says, want to try the long filbert, but they're not available in my country. Shipping from overseas stores is astronomical. Oh, I know. The international shipping, it costs an arm and a leg. Laura says that orange reflected light is amazing. I'm pretty happy about that area. I think that's working pretty well. I like this. Annie says, kids at school equals I paint. Yes, I know the feeling. Hollywood is in LA. Yes, it's right up there. The tar pit. Actually, I looked at that, and maybe I'm wrong, but it didn't look as exciting as it sounded. Because you hear the word tar pit, and you're like, oh, that sounds cool. But I looked at all the photos, and I read about the site, and I was like, yeah, I think there's better stuff. The good thing is that we did do like the main stuff last time. Like we had the Getty and what's the other place we went to? But there's another museum. I think it's called Academy of Motion Pictures. It's like a museum with all these things from movies and props and things. That looks really fun. We'll see. Yeah, we're not going to hit the Getty this time because we did last time and because the Getty's gigantic. So we're trying to go to places that we haven't been to before. Like last time, I really wanted to go to the Hammer Museum, but I didn't have enough time and the parking was bad and bleh. So we'll see. It's not going to be like a full out filming trip because of the wedding. Oh, that's what it's called. Okay, the garden at the Getty. Yes, I did go there last time. We were really tired though, so we didn't spend a lot of time there. Oh my God. He doesn't live in LA, you guys. Hugh Jackman lives in New York. How did you not know that? Although, oh my God, you guys, I can't believe this. Aaron Tveit is coming to Utah because I follow all these fan accounts and they always announce when there's a concert that he's doing. And he never comes to Utah. And now he's coming in August. Nearly had a heart attack when I saw that. So that's going to be really, really fun. Okay, good. Annie, I'm glad you're confirming for me. The tar pit is not that exciting. Okay. I did want to go to LACMA, but that was also another thing that we just didn't have the time to go to. Okay, wow, some really cool things happening in the Art Alongs channel. So let me get back in here to show everybody what is happening. Okay. Oh, it's Kahlo. Kahlo is Anna's dog. I met Kahlo once. So cute. Love it. Oh, June is having fun with the critters at the park. Oh my gosh, look at how bright that red is. It's like somebody painted him with cadmium red light. Oh, this is Binky from Silver Song. Okay, now Albert is working on some printmaking using a new Baron on some mulberry paper. Oh, really love those shapes, especially the really big ones and then the little ones down here at the bottom. Really nicely composed, Albert. Okay, so here's the close-up I was showing you guys. So this part is palette knife, and then this part is brushwork that goes over the palette knife. And so that's what I was thinking is, okay, well, how much do I brush over the palette knife? Because some of the palette knife to me is too blunt, but some of the other areas, like I sort of like this one spot here, which is left over from the palette knife, but also has the brush pushing through it. And Albert has a monotype using quinacridone magenta and viridian green. Oh, nice. Yeah, isn't that amazing how it's green, but it ends up looking more like a purple on top of the magenta? That's the beautiful layering of the colors. butter, some brayer lobster warm-ups. These are so brilliant lobsters. So these are done with a brayer, which is basically a small roller that people typically use for printmaking. But Butter has been using the brayer as a drawing tool, which is amazing because to me, a brayer just feels so inflexible and awkward. And the fact that you've gotten something so gestural is just wonderful. Amaryllis thinks they're done. Okay, let me take a quick glance. I think it'd be nice to get a little more shading up here because I do really like all the shading in the eyes, but I feel like up here, maybe this section could be a little bit darker. And then maybe in here, we could get a little bit more shading, maybe a little more here. So really what I'm talking about is more of the middle grays, because I do feel this part here gets a little bit flat. It doesn't really have a lot of gradation. Now down here, you have some gradation, but I think you could use some more of it. So you're very close, but I think that would help the volume be more clear. Neo stuck here to add color or not. Oh yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Because I just really like this maroon. I like the texture, but I think maybe especially in the face, if you had a little bit more color range, you'd be able to make it so that way the dark lines aren't too blunt. Because I do really like patches like this and some of the mid-tones in the eyes. I think if you had more of those, that would probably help. What is a brayer? So it's a roller. Oh, I have a broken one on my shelf. That's not very helpful, but it's for like if you're inking up a linoleum block or something. Yeah, just look up printmaking brayer and you'll find it. Yeah, so here's another example. This is one of the messier spots of the painting where I was thinking, okay, maybe I keep the messiness going on in there. And then here's where we are right now. Oh, there's a lot of glare on that. I need to take a better photo. Yeah, I'll take a better photo after the stream. Wow, this is so soft and beautiful, Jen. Oh my gosh. I love the way the colors are just bleeding into each other. That is so lovely, Jen. Okay, and Lisa, after a few fails, drew a cute mouse with a huge Sharpie. Oh, that is brilliant, Lisa. Oh my gosh. I can totally see how freaking large that Sharpie is. It looks just like a mouse. That is so brilliant, Lisa. I just really love that. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Yeah, I haven't run into them yet. I'm too busy shopping for art supplies. Oh, I don't know. You guys, I had front row at Moulin Rouge. That kind of costs an arm and a leg. We'll see. It's the Utah Valley Orchestra. It can't be that expensive, right? I don't know. We'll see. But then again, when's the next time I'm going to be able to see him live? Okay, everybody, let's get back into the painting. And I'm wondering, I'm going to do a little bit more on the top, although I might just stick with this. I feel like I'm on a roll here for all of these things. So yeah, I'm going to stick with this. I know the bottom needs work, but I'm excited about what's happening here. So we're just going to stick with this. Because I really do want some of the articulation here to be stronger. By the way, everybody, I don't know if I told you my new plan. I haven't really talked about it on Instagram, and here's why. I'll just tell you guys during the live streams and in the Discord. So let me tell you, and then maybe you guys can help me figure out if you think this is a good plan. I mean, I'm going to do it, whatever. It's not going to hurt me to do it. But so basically, because I finished that work for the Utah Artist Fellowship, it was that grant application I was working on. Some of you guys may have seen some of the videos. So I was working on that, and I realized, oh, wow, I have a new body of work here. And I have not had a new body of work since 2016. It's been that long. I've been out of the game for that much. Very long period of time. Because I was just so burnt out. Just, couldn't do it anymore. After being in academia for so long. So anyway, I was like, oh, maybe I should see if there's other places. Maybe I could actually show this work somewhere. And so I get curious about it. And I thought, oh, well, I have these students now, and they're all like rock stars in the art world. I've had some who have been extremely successful. And I thought, let me just check out galleries online, on Instagram. I just want to see what's out there. Now, you have to remember that the last time I even looked at galleries was, oh gosh, it was probably before 2016, because I was just so busy trying to keep my kids alive and, all that fun stuff, that I wasn't like super active about it even then. But the main thing is that last time I was looking to show my work, there was no Instagram. And so it was not easy to find names and people and things like that. And so I went on Instagram and I'm looking around, and you guys, I was floored that everything in the art world right now, it's all figurative work. And you have to remember that when I was trying to show my work in the, 2004-ish time, that was after I finished graduate school, nobody was painting the figure. I couldn't get anyone interested. And now it's like, what? Painting the figure is cool? I was so taken aback by that. I was like, what is going on here? And I talked to Lauren, and she's like, Clara, you didn't know? I'm like, listen, I haven't looked in a long time. So I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm like, dude, I think I actually might be able to do something with this. Who knows? Maybe I'm just wishful thinking that I could actually show. Because the other thing too is, the last time I was showing, I wasn't showing at commercial galleries. I was showing more at school galleries and nonprofits and stuff like that. And so I really don't have much experience in the commercial gallery world. And so my head starts racing, and I'm going, oh my God, I think I might be able to do this. So anyway, who knows if I really can do this? But what I have to do first, though, is I have to make new work. Now, okay, I know that sounds weird, because you're probably thinking, well, why do you need more work? The whole point of this conversation is that you have new work. And so why do you need to make new work? Okay, here's why I need to make new work. It's because I need to make work that is physically put together enough to show in a professional gallery. For example, the pieces I did for the grants, those are not like canvases. They can't go on top of a gallery wall. I mean, they could, but most galleries don't want that. They want something that has good presentation. And my pieces don't have that. And so that's why I'm going to do the fumage stuff on a wood board. And then that will make it presentable for a gallery. I don't have huge hopes and I don't have any expectations, but I couldn't believe, you guys, everybody's on Instagram. I was like, oh my God, this is so easy to find people. I just was like floored by that because that was not the case pre-Instagram. Because I asked Lauren, I said, listen, it seems like nobody left Instagram. She's like, yeah, everybody's still on there. I know there was a little bit of an exodus a little ways back because of all the crap with Meta, but she told me that the gallery people are still there. I'm not really happy back here. I think I want to make that. Oh, okay. It's a little red. Oh, yeah, that's kind of nice. I just feel like this area is looking very brown. Feels like it's the same color over and over again. So anyway, I have a plan, everybody. And tell me in the comments, do you think I could do it? I don't really think I can, but I'm just going to try because I'm like, okay, if there's any time in this century that my work would ever be cool for being figurative, now is the time. I mean, who knows? Maybe doing the figure will not be cool in a few years, but right now it is pretty much the thing. It's really weird for me. And this is why I'm like, oh my God, I was totally born 20 years too soon. Because all the things that are like happening right now in the art world, people trying to, oh my God, hire people who are people of color, that was not on the radar when I was trying to be in academia. But so I have a whole plan because you know something, if you look at the Instagrams of artists who are doing well in galleries, I'm not kidding, there really is a formula. If you look at all of the photos that the artists share of themselves on their Instagram, this is one thing I noticed. Number one, they have all had professional photographers take their photos, all of them. And they have one artwork in the background, at least, and it's really big. It's always a big piece. And then the other thing is, I find this very funny. Okay, so it's an artist, there's a big painting in the background, and then there's always a little cart of art supplies. It's not that big. It's a very small cart, but there's always something like that. I think I saw one artist photo where the artist had a table, but everybody else has a cart. So I was like, okay, if I go clothes shopping and shoe shopping and I hire a professional photographer and I pretend to have a studio because I don't, I'm too poor to have a studio. Studios are expensive. Maybe I rent a space for the photo shoot. If I do that, I can have the gallery artist Instagram photo, which I don't have right now. And I'm also going to do a rebrand. You see, it's just, this is why I'm like, it's all marketing. And the other thing too is because I'm older, I don't have as much worry that I'm not good enough because it's not about technique. And I'm not saying that I can do anything that anybody else can do. Obviously, that is not true. But I think when I was younger, I always felt like I couldn't do what other people did. But now I'm like, I can do it. I need time and I need this. So yeah. Oh, we'll see. I totally swore off exhibiting you guys. Like I was like, I'm never going to show again. I'm just done. And now I'm like, maybe not. Maybe I'm not done. Maybe this could actually become something. Who knows? Actually, what I really want more than anything is I want to show in Europe. So that way they'll fly me out to go to a show in Europe. You know, it's not because I want to show, it's because I want to freaking go to Europe. Like, that's all. So, yes. So, I don't know. I'm curious about people's plan because I think it's annoying that I have to like look up all that stuff and say, okay, what is everybody doing? But it's like, it's actually quite generic what everybody does. Like, it's all extremely similar. And it's like, you just gotta, I guess, what is it? Walk the walk, talk the talk, whatever it is. So I don't know. Maybe it's wishful thinking. But I've been stalking and reading and finding names and stuff like that. And I'm like, God, this is a cinch. How did we do this before Instagram? But also, I feel lucky that social media is something I've like worked on. I know a lot of artists, for good reason, don't want to work on it, but because I've been doing it for Art Prof, I feel pretty confident about my social media skills. So that's another thing that I think I did not have going for me earlier on. So I'll talk to you guys about it, but I can't really do Instagram stories about this because now some of them are following me. I'm like, oh, okay, I can't like say those things to people who are in the world, but I can tell you guys will understand. I'm really surprised about this. Let me get some close-ups so you guys can see. It's getting very wiggly. I am enjoying this though. Okay, so these are going into the Discord. Great activity happening in the Discord. People being really encouraging of each other. It's fantastic. I hope you guys are really liking that because I just think that's one of the coolest things is that we can be in multiple time zones and people are helping each other. It's really nice. It's getting a little muddy up here. I feel like in here it got a little muddy. Maybe I could rescue it with some ultramarine blue. Maybe in here. Actually, maybe I should make that spot a little more muddy. Maybe that's what it needs. Maybe it's too bright. Yeah, maybe I'll add a little bit of like a little bit of yellow in here. Let's just dull down some of that purple. Oh, that's kind of nice. It's sort of like mustard. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's it. I just need mustard. Yeah, ew, that's getting kind of nasty looking, but I like it. I think it's, oh, shoot, that is not what I wanted. No, 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 no. Turn that into something else. Oh, that really helped. The yellow. Because I do feel like I overdid it a little bit with the purple. I think the purple became a little bit too dominant. Oh, I'm so glad you guys convinced me to not use the reference anymore because I feel like this is more fun. Way more fun. All right. Let's see what people are talking about. include my dog in the photo. I don't know if I saw any with dogs. I don't think so. Well, that's the thing. It's like I'm going to make the work anyway. So I might as well stalk people now before I've made the work, because the work is going to take a long time. I also want to make it big. That's another thing. Galleries always want big stuff. I mean, I'm not going to start with the big ones right away. I'm going to do a bunch of little ones first just as a test. But I think you guys all know you can't wait until the work is done to start doing the research and also the stalking. The research, right? Because you got to put on that show for everybody. Olive says, your art's amazing. Go for it. Plus, it wouldn't hurt to try. Exactly. It's not going to hurt me at all. I like Randy. They say to strike while the iron's hot. Time to bring out your biggest hammer. Well, that's the thing. Is like I've never seen that before. Ever. I have always in the past looked at the gallery world and thought to myself, I don't belong here. Nobody is doing stuff that's like what I want to make. And now I'm like, oh my God, everybody is doing that. Now, granted, there's a huge range of figurative work out there. A lot of it is extremely different than what I do, but it's so prevalent that I subscribe to all these gallery accounts and I'm scrolling through. It's like every third image has something with a figure in it. It's that big. Thank you. 7A, you won't know otherwise. Pagrami, totally. Jennifer, live in the moment. Carpe diem. Yes. I'm going to give it a shot. And actually, let me show you guys really briefly. Let me go get it. It's over here on my shelf. But remember, if you want to get an early bird discount on the upcoming color ebook coming out April 11th, not the 1st. I'm dumb. And that's a typo. There's a link in the video description. Just sign up there and that will get you the early bird discount. You'll be the first to know when it releases. Okay, so does everybody see this? This is a wood panel. It's made by Ampersand, and you can see it has a cradle in the back. So my plan, this is a scrap piece. This is not a nice one. Okay, so this is a test that I did a couple days ago. And I really like how I can burn the edge. And that looks very nice and presentable. And so I can have this like really textured surface. But if I burn this panel, which is like nice and even, that makes it nice and ready for a gallery. Because I talked to Lauren about it and she's like, yeah, it's really hard to get a gallery to show drawings. That drawing is usually a supplement and that it's a giant pain to install. You know, canvases, you just put them on the wall, and same thing with these panels. And I was thinking I could burn these and do the fumage, but I thought it'd be really fun if I just let parts of it burn. So for example, if the corner just like burns off, I was thinking that would be fun. Now this one that I did, I put this on Instagram. This one did not work because this is a crummy piece of wood. I just got this in our garage. And so the surface was too bumpy. I wasn't able to get any delicate strokes, but this one from Ampersand, I think it's basswood. This one's nice and smooth. So this one should be fine. Although if I decide to really do these, I'll probably go down to my father-in-law's and he's got like big wood machines and stuff and just cut a whole bunch of them. That would definitely be the cheapest way to go. But I have to do a test on this one first to make sure it's okay. But if it works, that could be exactly what I need to make this happen. Neil says, how fragile are the fumage pieces? Would that be hard to transport it to the galleries? On the wood, they're not fragile at all. And also, I figured out how to put fixative on it and not ruin the image. So first of all, the fumage being on wood is a huge difference. When I was doing them on paper, it was way too fragile. You've got that, but also when I sprayed it, I sprayed across over the fumage piece so that there wasn't like projectile fixative putting pressure on the drawing. So instead, the spray goes across and then it just like falls down. So that way the fixative particles, they fall on, they're not sprayed on. And once I get that initial one on, like usually do like 2 or 3 layers, then it's protected and then I can like really spray on it. And I got some pretty good results. So I was pretty happy about it. I think it's going to work. We have to see if it works on the panel. But the other thing I wanted to do was to try different types of wood, because one of the things that I really like about this test, does everybody see how the palm, it's a little more orange? I don't know why. Like it just turned orange. But I was thinking that would be nice to get a little bit more color into the panel. I don't know if this is possible. I have to like talk to somebody about it. But if there was wood I could get that would burn a wider variation of colors, I think that would be really cool. Because I do really like the color variation here. But it doesn't seem like something I can predict unless I pick a particular type of wood. But then another thing, I was like, oh, maybe if I could use like cherry, which is more of a deeper reddish brown. I don't know. A lot of experimentation. So needless to say, I am in the research phase, already stalking people. We'll see. Yeah, it wasn't intentional, starving artists. It just happened. And Jen says, looking forward to the color ebook. Me too, because that color ebook is killing me right now. Because we all worked on it together, all 7 of us. But oh my gosh, I haven't even done the proofreading yet. The layouts are very time consuming. Oh my God. And we've had everybody working on every aspect of the ebook. And I remember couple months ago when we first started writing them, I was like, oh yeah, I'd like to do 2 a month. I'm like, try 1 every 5 months. It's more like it. But it's like, I can't help it. It's like, once I start trying to explain something, it balloons into this huge explanation. And so even when I say to myself, oh, I'm going to keep it simple, it ends up being 4 pages. Same thing with some of the other ebooks is I was like, oh, 50 pages. Before I know it, it's 150. So that's our problem. Neil says, how do you know if you're done with this piece? Kind of looks finished to me. I think the top could use a little bit of glazing, not very much, but definitely the bottom needs some work. So maybe 1 or 2 more sessions on this. It's getting there though. We'll have to see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to my father-in-law. He's a luthier. He's a violin maker. He knows a lot about wood. But then the other thing I was thinking is if I seal it fixative, I could certainly stain the fumage piece after it's sealed. There's a lot of options. I just know that I don't want them to be super black and white. I would like color to have a bigger presence, but I want it to look natural. I don't want it to look like I painted on the piece. So we'll see what happens. Let's do another check-in on the Discord. Ooh, we have another lobster from Butter. Butter, I really like how you made the face small and then the claws are like gigantic. That's a wonderful foreshortening that you really pushed beautifully. Okay, so here's some of the details. You guys can see this is the thick area from the palette knife. And here's where I took the brush to pull it out. Probably could do a little more of that. But this is the spot that I think was getting a little muddy. But you can see there's some transparency in here. I was trying to pull out some of these like muddier mustard colors. This one's feeling a little flat to me. I think it's this part. It probably needs a little more. This part's pretty fun. That's a lot more lively brushwork than I typically do. And I do like that it's going in different directions. So I would say in terms of brushwork, this is probably a spot that I think looks pretty decent. I do like this brushstroke. That's pretty tasty. Well, it wasn't a disaster today. Are you guys exciting? No existential crisis. Things actually went okay. Oh, Lisa says it's difficult to stain wood after sealing. Okay, well, lots of research for sure that I am going to have to do. A reminder to everybody, we do have spaces open in our upcoming gesture drawing workshop and also oil painting. And Mia has a sparkly painting workshop that is coming up. Other workshops also include marker and crayon. That's an opportunity to work with me for 2 weeks. You get audio recording critiques and also a 3-hour live session. Another reminder, that beginner ebook for color is coming out Friday, April 11th. That is going to be a 160-page ebook. It's $25. However, if you sign up early, you'll be the first to know, and you'll also get an early bird discount. That link is in the video description below. Hope you sign up so that way you can get that discount. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.